saying clean energy, not...
I think that's a good point. It's really this task force, and which will include student involvement, should be trying to come to the best solutions. I'm not trying to suggest what it should be.
Last night you spoke about fourth generation nuclear. I thought maybe you should explain you're not necessarily advocating nuclear power plants as they now function.
Well, the current generation of nuclear power plants, second generation, do have problems, even though they have this good safety record. Maybe they've been fortunate. And they do depend upon human intervention in the case of a problem, while the next generations will have the ability to automatically shut down in the case of a reactor anomaly. So there is a potential of improvements in performance in the future.
Dr. Hansen, I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you a resolution that the town of Carrboro passed, very much in line with what you've been describing as necessary scientifically, as an example of what a small community can do when other levels of governance are failing us.
That's a very good point. I think that I've railed against Washington because of the fact that the lobbyists have the money seems to play such a big role in Washington, and so I think the people have to stand up and at lower levels individually and make clear that we expect the government to be looking out after the people, not after the moneyed interests.
Dr. Hansen, in 2006 you said, "It has become clear that we are nearing a tipping point of the climate system, that if we don't begin to take action within the next 10 years, that we will pass a tipping point and there will be large long-term consequences of that. I think what's on the line is the future of the planet and what we hand over to our children and grandchildren." I'd like to ask two questions. One, do you still stand by that? And two, what would you say in light of the tipping point to university officials at UNC who have said repeatedly that we know we need to make a change, but there are reasons we can't do it faster, such as money?
Yeah, well, I think there's been new evidence since 2006, some of which I discussed last night in the classes, different classes here, including the fact that, as was mentioned, Greenland is actually shedding ice faster now than it was in 2006, and so is West Antarctica. And the Arctic sea ice declined rapidly in 2007, so it was after that statement. So yeah, so it's just confirmation that we have to move during the next several years, and it's exactly what the students said. 2050 is not the right target for a university to be setting, and that's why the hope is this task force will find a much faster way to make these changes.
Thank you.
What would be a good realistic target, and what's your advice to students in the task force moving forward? What benchmarks should they look for?
Well, again, I think it'd be presumptuous on my part to try to make a specific date, because I don't know the details of the energy system here and things, but it's clear it needs to be a lot faster. And I gave some boundary conditions in terms of what I think what the world must do is phase out coal by 2030, but the United States should be a leader, and it's actually to our advantage to be a leader in terms of having the technologies that we can sell to the rest of the world. So we need to do it much faster than that, and I would hope the university can even be a leader within the United States.
And the call for UNC's basically been asking Chancellor Thorp and university officials to get a commitment for 2015. That's the date that we've been talking about. Are there any other questions?
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Did all press get packets?
There are press packets for anybody from the press who needs one.
Yeah. Thank you. Would we like to get together for a cheer? Coal-free UNC, Hansen, all of our dedicated sons. This is the campaign. Okay, left hands in. Left hands in. On the count of 3, we'll say coal-free UNC. 1, 2, 3. Coal-free UNC. Woo! Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. That was really wonderful. That was awesome. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
You did it.